Welcome to Mirror Domain's movie news for January 31st, 2022. Guys, this is a daily live show starting at 12 or 12:30 p.m. weekly, usually 12, but today we had a trailer reaction to do for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which looked pretty cool. But guys, let's just run through the day's topics. We're going to be looking at the Halo trailer that dropped yesterday. It looks spectacular, guys. Of course, we got to do the quick box office report to see how things fared this weekend. Joker 2 news in the works. Is there really Joker 2 in the works? And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot. They dropped a trailer this morning, guys, and you might want to check it out because it looks... Kingpin to face off against Spider-Man. D'Onofrio weighs in. As we know from Friday, Jason Momoa has been confirmed as joining Fast 10. Snow White responds to all the controversy out there about Peter Dinklage and dwarves and stuff like that. And I want to briefly touch a bit on the Spotify drama that's been going on between Neil Young and Joe Rogan. Just lightly, I'm not going to get too way down in the politics of it all. And then we'll finish up the day by looking at the Twitter roundup. Okay? So guys, if you don't know how this show works, it's a live show. So if you want to participate in the live chat, by all means, and once I run through all the topics, we'll talk about what you want to talk about if there's anything that I missed. And if you are watching this later on, welcome. I hope you can join us daily for some live chat about movie news and entertainment stuff. And please follow the playlist that will be linked up in the cards for this stuff, because I'll put time codes and everything in this once YouTube gets it all rendered and stuff like that. Okay, guys, with that being said, let's just start the show and let's talk about that Halo trailer, because it looked awesome. Halo TV series set March 24th debut and official trailer. Now guys, I did a trailer reaction for this, so I'm not going to react to it anymore on here, but I'm going to tell you this. I'll put in a few screenshots that just blew my mind. Just ones that showed that they really nailed the scope. Like this, I didn't think that they would be able to make it look good. Like I thought it would be kind of like, oh yeah, they're in the CG world, but they did the practical use of it all. Just now I heard that some people are complaining a little bit. Oh yeah, he's fighting against some CG monsters, or I think they're. I think some of them might be practical, but it's somewhat CG. But some people were complaining about the way that Cordelia looks. So I think she looks okay for the most part. Yeah, right there. I think she looks great. I think it's just supposed to be like CG, right? Isn't that the way it's supposed to be? I think that looks fine, because it's like the AI that talks to him, right? So Cortana, yeah. So people are complaining about it, and I don't have anything wrong with it. I thought it looked great. Like there was just a huge smile on my face while I was watching this entirely last night. I'll leave a link to this up in the cards above, because guys, it's debuting March 24th on Paramount Plus, Master Chief. Guys, I thought debuting it during the football match yesterday was really awesome. I felt like that was the way to go, because it got a lot of people talking about it. I just think that it looks awesome. I can't wait for it, actually, to tell you the truth. I was just really shocked, and that's going to be the theme today, about me being shocked about news. Okay, guys, it's come time to talk about the weekend box office report. Domestic box office report for January 28th to the 30th, 2022. I'm going to read off the top 5. Number 1 was Spider-Man No Way Home. Number 2 was Scream. Number 3 was Sing 2. Number 4 was Redeeming Love. And number 5 was The King's Man. As you can see, nothing has changed because no big movies were released this week. which is good for Spider-Man because it keeps on top. It keeps on top being number one. So let's pull up Spider-Man's numbers here. Domestically, it's 735 million now. Oh my God. That is fantastic. Imagine if we didn't have to go through this rough patch where we were a little bit hesitant for this month of January to go back to the theaters. Internationally has crossed 1 billion. So for a grand total so far of $1.73 billion. You can't complain about that. And I'm so happy about that. You know, I just watched the clip of Spider-Man again the other day of, we can talk about spoilers now. There was a clip of the three Spider-Man talking to each other and Andrew Garfield going in and saying, I love you guys. And that just makes me want to go and watch this movie again in theaters now that it's open. Let's go on to Scream. Okay, Scream's numbers were 62 million this weekend, grand total 44, and worldwide it's crossed 100 million now, so 106 million for Scream. I think there can be a Scream 2 in the works, definitely a Scream 2 in the works. It made 7.3 million this weekend. I'm seeing it tonight. I am seeing Scream tonight, and I'm going to give you guys my initial reaction out of the theater. It's just going to be so good to be sitting there again and watching a big movie on the big screen. Scream! I'm going to see it tonight. I'll give you my review, my full review tomorrow, but my initial reaction for it will be up tonight. What did you think about some of the box office numbers? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll talk about it. All right, guys, we got to deal with a spam bot here that I'm going to have to hide the comments on, so don't go away. Okay. What I try to do is I copy what their handles are and what they're saying, what they're spamming, and then I put that into my blocked words list. So hopefully we'll be able to phase these things out, but they're bots, so they're going to change one letter in it and it'll come back the next day. It's relentless. It's relentless spam. But that's just what you have to deal with when you're a live streamer. All right, guys, let's talk about something else that's really cool. Something that just blew my mind today. And that's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot. The Face of Madness returns. Did you see this trailer, guys? It's pretty sweet. Towards the end, it's gruesome. Really, really gruesome. It's bloody, too. It's going to be on Netflix February 18th. I did a trailer reaction for it. Guys, trust me, it's totally worth checking out. Let's pull up some news here. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 50 years later, sequel comes to Netflix in February. And God, yeah. Okay, so that's was that in the trailer? I don't remember. But I'll read you the log line here. After nearly 50 years of hiding, Leatherface returns to terrorize a group of idealistic young friends who accidentally disrupt his carefully shielded world in a remote Texas town. So these young people come in, they're like, hey, what's going on here? And I guess from the trailer, you kind of got the impression that Leatherface, okay, that was in the trailer, he was kind of like running amok in the town. Like that was his town. So I'm not going to play the entire trailer here or play the sound, but I'll show you a few screenshots here that I can that just get really bloody. Well, okay. Well, there's the chainsaw. There's the token, the iconic chainsaw, and it's there's like a lady in the town that's trying to hide him, protect him from these people, and it's like they perfectly nailed the tone for it. There's a scene in here that maybe it's too dark for this, but like there's a scene on the bus. If you haven't seen it, there's a scene on the bus where he takes his chainsaw, rams it through somebody, and just holds them up to the ceiling like that. It's like, God, that is so perfect. That is just wow. That looks awesome. That looks spectacular. Wow. So Guys, if you have seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre trailer, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, because go watch my trailer reaction to it, because oh, I give it you'll know what I'm talking about when you see that trailer. And there's the poster. The poster, you can sort of see him there in the light. I guess that's all I can talk about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Guys, if you don't know, I started a weekly show, a new weekly show. It's going to be on Saturday nights, 10 p.m., where we're going to talk all about horror headlines, because it's something that the headlines, they're not many during the week, but I'll try to round up as much as I can. We'll look at some trailers, horror trailers, and have some fun. And if you want to talk about horror news, every Saturday night on Mirror Domains, we'll talk about the horror news of the week. Joker 2. Is there a Joker 2? Why is this in the headlines? I thought we were pretty much settled on saying that there isn't going to be another Joker movie. Joaquin Phoenix Joker has a start date? No, 12 seconds ago. And this comes from Giant Freaking Robot, guys. If you look down these kinds of rabbit holes, you're asking for trouble. Because this is tripe. Now sources for Heroic Hollywood have offered a new update, because in November, the actual Hollywood Reporter was saying that it was in the works. So there was something, but that was like in 2019. Come on, that's almost two and a half years ago, almost 3 years now, guys. Come on. Joaquin Phoenix has remained tightly lipped as possible can be happening. Let's just read the quote here from Heroic Hollywood that kind of sets the record straight here. People have been wanting that they were going to begin filming the movie in 2023 at this point. That's all they've learned. So if it does film, it will be in 2023. But guys, guess what? They go on to talk about the director here, Todd Phillips. Came out in a report that said that it's not true in late 2019. He said in 2019, okay, here's the real truth about the sequel. While Joaquin and I have talked about it while touring the world with Warner Bros. Executives, going to Toronto, Venice, and other places, of course, we're sitting dinner and saying, so have you thought about it? But talking about contracts, there's not a contract for us to even write a sequel. Will it ever happen again? I just think the article was anticipatory at best. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. There's really nothing there to really talk about. Hopefully the sources for Heroic Hollywood are correct, that the movie is quietly moving forward. But you know what? Here, I'm not trying to break any scoops. I'm not trying to... I don't want to talk too much about rumors. I don't mind doing that if it's got a little bit of legitimacy to it, but this is just looking for headlines and trying to do clickbait. And is there a time and place for that? Yes, there definitely is. But maybe I can dedicate a show to all rumors, kind of like a tabloid show. Is it possible? A nightly tabloid show of me just going through all the gossip and rumor mills. Possible. Let me know in the comments below if you think I should do something like that, because that could be interesting. Talking about the Joker, there was a quote by Willem Dafoe, because everybody wants Willem Dafoe to play the Joker. Willem Dafoe shares funny reaction to the Joker fan casting. He had a quote while he was talking about Spider-Man No Way Home here. Let's read that. Look at his face here too. I can't help that I have an expressive face. I can't control it. I don't think about controlling it. I'm not one of those subtle actors like Nicolas Cage or Al Pacino. Yeah, as if they're subtle. Maybe that's why people come up to me and say, you know what role you'd be perfect for? The Joker. Always nice to hear that you have the vibe of a sociopath. And it is true fan casting. People want Willem Dafoe to play the Joker, but he's a little bit older now, and I don't know which Batman movie he would fit into. So it's just something out there in the ether of fandom that that's something that people would like to see. But it's there. What's something else that people would like to see? Spider-Man face off against Kingpin. Me too. And especially if it was Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. Vincent D'Onofrio wants to face off against Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Well, that's good news, because that's something that we do want to see. Now that he's in the MCU officially, because of Hawkeye series brought him in. So that's awesome. Does he have a quote here? I'd like to interact with all of them. I mean, it's obvious that Punisher, Daredevil, and Spider-Man are the ones that my character is tied to in the comic books, but there's plenty of room for others. I can just only hope that that happens. But I mean, Spider-Man, definitely. I think that would be really, really fun. I want it as much as everybody else does. So we'll see. So he wants it. He wants it as much as everybody else does. Because wasn't he part of trying to bring together the Sinister Six? He was part of that in one of the storylines, wasn't he? That would just be fantastic to see. Yeah, that would be. Whew, I want that. I really, really want that. What do you think, guys? D'Onofrio, Kingpin facing off against Tom Holland, Spider-Man. I would love to see that. Let me know in the comments below. On Friday, we talked about Jason Momoa joining Fast 10, and it's official. It became official over the weekend. So, Fast 10 star Tyrese Gibson welcomes Momoa to the family. Yeah, guys, is that becoming tired? Every time they say family now, it's kind of like you just roll your eyes. Okay, so he took to his Instagram and just showed a picture of Momoa with the Fast 10 logo on there. Well, it's not really an official logo, but with the intentions of saying, welcome, welcome. Pay attention to the Friday show, guys. I'll leave a link to that. I should have maybe cut that out, because I did go on to talk about the Fast franchise, how it's going downhill, how it's really not, they really do need to wrap this thing up now, because it's just getting too obtuse, it's getting too obscure, it's not fun anymore, because they've just taken it way over the top. And I blamed a lot of that on Vin Diesel, because he just doesn't have any... He's lost the vision, and he doesn't have any course correction laid out, because bringing people in, that's not going to fix it. It's about dialing back the stupidity of the action. Okay? But Fast 10, Momoa, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll talk about it. Last week, Peter Dinklage was in the news for Last week, Peter Dinklage was talking about Snow White, saying that it's not good for the community of dwarves and stuff like that. People came out on both sides of that story, but now it appears that Snow White herself is talking about this casting controversy. Rachel Zegler, she was in West Side Story, if you didn't know. One of the biggest box office bombs of last year. But who cares about that? She's really excited to be a Latina princess, Snow White. Now, I haven't actually read this quote, so it's going to catch me a little bit off surprise too, because I didn't do my research. Never in a million years did I imagine that this world would be a possibility for me. You know, you don't normally see Snow Whites that are of Latin descent, even though Snow White is a really big deal in Spanish-speaking countries. Bianca Nelves, is that what it's called? Is a huge icon, whether you're talking about the Disney cartoon or different iterations and the Grimm fairy tale, and all the stories that come with it. But you don't particularly see people who look like me or me playing roles like that. When it was announced, it was a huge thing that was trending on Twitter for days because all people were angry. Yeah. So she doesn't really address that, does she? Okay, so here's what she says. Let me pause this ad here. We need to love them in the right direction. At the end of the day, I have a job to do that I'm really excited to do. I get to be a Latina princess. So she doesn't really say much. Some comedian came out on Friday and said, well, why doesn't she marry a dwarf then? Instead of marrying the prince that comes and kisses her while she's sleeping, or tonically dead, or whatever you call that, fall in love with one of the dwarves. Yeah, change it up like that, and that should smooth things over. Make that, because that's what I would like to see. Snow White marrying a dwarf. You just can't go wrong with that, because it would be something different that people haven't seen before. Most definitely. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Snow White, dwarf action. All right, guys. Over the last week or so, Spotify and Joe Rogan and Neil Young have been butting heads, creating beefs. Neil Young wanted all of his music pulled off Spotify because of Joe Rogan spreading misinformation about that C word. Well, you'll see it here. Spotify did take Neil Young's music off. Other artists decided they wanted to do that too. And Spotify responded by saying that we're going to put up a disclaimer on podcasts like that go off on tangents like Joe Rogan does. You know, he's a long podcaster that puts out like 3 hours of stuff. So he tends at times to go on rants. But he's come out today and said that he's going to back down a bit. He promises to do better in response to COVID. There's that word again. To the vaccine dust up with Neil Young and Joni Mitchell. Yes, apparently Joni Mitchell also wanted to have her stuff pulled. I stand with Neil Young, and people on both sides were just attacking each other. And the few things that I want to talk about is this. It's not an attack on free speech to put a disclaimer. It's not. And anybody who says that it is, they're just touting nonsense. Don't bother to even listen to those people. They're full of craziness. But you know what? I was always hoping that Joe Rogan would come around on this a little bit, and it sounds like he has. Because I watched Joe Rogan a lot when he was on YouTube, because I'm on YouTube and I always watch YouTube. So that's my jam. When he went to Spotify, it got too many ads for me, and I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to listen to this anymore. But then I heard this last year. He just went really to the wall with a lot of this, not anti-vax, but with stuff that just wanted to try to fight against it for some reason. And he's come out and says he plans to do better, but he plans to balance things out in the future. So hopefully, there's a quote here. He says that if there's anything that I've done I could do better, it's having more experts with different opinions right after I have controversial ones. That's good. Well, he should, because for the most part, for last year, it was all one-sided. He had one doctor on recently that kind of showed that a doctor who knew what he was talking about had all the facts, because he's a doctor. You study that stuff daily. You're embedded in that stuff 8 to 10 hours a day. That's what makes you a doctor, because you're specializing in something. And he came in with the facts, and it kind of made Rogan look like a fool. And I'm pretty sure that he didn't really like that, being corrected and shown that, when you go off and talk about these kinds of things, you will eventually meet that wall of facts. And good for Rogan. That just makes me happy, because he's got things. He always gave me that impression that he would always try to balance things out, that he would at least listen to the other opinion and give it consideration. That's what drew me to Joe Rogan in the first place, was that he was always going to listen to the crazy flat earthers and the conspiracy people, but he would give them their time to speak, but then he would also give the opposite side of the opinions. And it looks like we're finally going to get that back from him. And that's good news. That's good news. But what do you think about that Joe Rogan story? Let me know in the comments below. It's good to see that it's getting sorted out. All right, guys, I think that's pretty much it for today. Let's just round up by looking at the Twitterverse and see if there's anything out there that we missed, see if there's anything out there that's trending, and if you have anything in the comments that you want me to talk about, this is indeed the time for you to interact. Guys, don't worry, I don't bite. this show hopefully will be all driven by you guys. Once we build up the audience, once people get comfortable talking in the chat, it'll all be driven by you guys. Film updates on the Twitterverse. Let's take a look here. Isaac Gonzalez. Saoirse Ronan, upcoming projects. That's a interesting picture of her. Huh. What do you think about that? It's abstract. I kind of like it. Saoirse Ronan, great actress. The Outrun drama to be announced. Foe with Paul Mescal, 2023. Sci-fi thriller, interesting. See How They Run, murder mystery. Sam Rockwell, cool. Here's another abstract one. What is that? Abstract photography. Is that your bag? Andrew Garfield praises Rachel Ziegler. She is meant to be acting. She is meant to be singing. It's a vocation for her. I can see that. So they both were in musicals last year, Tick, Tick, Boom, and West Side Story. That's good. Andrew Garfield is a gentleman. A true mensch. Saoirse Ronan to star in The Outrun from director Nora Fingscheid. I hope I pronounced that, but I probably butchered it. Ronan will play Rona, a woman fresh out of rehab who, after more than a decade away, returns to Scotland, wild Orkney Islands, and to the sheep farm of her childhood. Okay. An Irish girl playing a Scottish girl. She's done that before, right? In Queen of Scotland or something like that. Well, that's what actors do. I got no problem with that. Oh, yeah. I think this is where I saw this shot of the 3 Spider-Man. Guys, I want to go watch it again. Maybe I'll go see it tomorrow on Cheap Tuesday, now that the theaters are open again here in Canada. A new poster for After Yang has been released. After Yang. What is that about? It's got Colin Farrell in it, so I'm intrigued. Maybe they adopt a couple of Chinese immigrants. Is that it? Okay, so there's that praising story again of Garfield. Ziegler? Moyford Clark, upcoming projects. Lord of the Rings. Oh, is this the girl? Yeah, this is the girl that's playing the young Galadriel in the Lord of the Rings. Ooh, wow, she's stunning. Wow. Wow, I can't wait to see her with the makeup on. That'll be fantastic. So she's in Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, The Duchess of Malfoy, co-starring Dominic Cooper, Acra, a Starvaker, a supernatural folk horror starring Matt Smith. Well, I do like horror. I'll have to keep my eye out for that. Starvaker. So this folk horror exploring trauma and loss. It is set in rural 70s England, where a couple seemingly idyllic family is thrown into turmoil once their son is acting out of character. So it's kind of like The Witch, but over in England. The Witch over in England. Okay, that's what that is. Well, I'll keep my eye on it for sure. Benedict Cumberbatch, Laura Dern to set in futuristic feature Morning. Wow. Happy birthday, Isa Gonzalez. Yes, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, yes. Uncharted has a new IMAX poster out. Once again, it's got that cartoonish flair to it. I don't like that, actually. It's too bluish, aqua green. No, I don't like that one. What do you think about that Uncharted poster? For me, it's not working, man. It's not working. Hey, I'm not skipping any frames here. Maybe I can boost up my bitrate. Taylor Lautner's in the news. Happy birthday, Olivia Colman. Happy birthday to Bale. Yesterday was Bale's birthday. Don't look up. Okay, guys, it looks like Tom Brady may retire, but he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything to anybody, and people are like, "Oh, he's going to announce his retirement." They were running with that yesterday. Just give him some time, guys. Give him some time. I think he's going to come back next year. Next year will be his last year, I think. Guys, that's it. That's all that I can see in the realm for movie news today. By all means, guys, let me know in the comments below what you thought about some of these stories. I feel like the show is evolving nicely. The only thing that is left to do is to make a nice little bar here that'll say Mirror Domains Movie News, 12 p.m. Eastern every day, because I gotta splash this all over the place. And I will apologize this week if you get inundated with some shorts. I'm going to do a lot of shorts this week, but I'm going to make them unlisted so they won't get into your subscription feeds. You'll just know that they're there if you look at my homepage. Like, you go to the actual homepage. I just gotta drive this, man. I gotta keep this going. Hopefully I can build some audiences that will interact with me daily in the live chat. I'm gonna try to make it consistently at 12 p.m. right on the dot. But when the trailer drops, or I gotta go grocery shopping or something, guys, in the morning, sometimes it takes a little bit longer for me to get things going. But as always, guys, I'll be here 12 p.m. right on the dot tomorrow. I hope you guys join us for some more movie news. You're watching Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. See you tomorrow, guys.